the practice of Qigong, which derives from Taoism. We modify our practice during the seasons in order to accommodate what the body needs at that time. The winter time is a very contracting season. It is the most yin season of the year. We move on from winter, of course, to spring, which is another avenue of expansion, to the full-blown expansion of summertime, when all of the flowers begin to bear their seed and their fruit. Then we move into the summer, which burns out the adrenal glands and the heart and everything else because it gets way too hot, especially if you live in Arizona. We come down into the earth season, which is commonly called the Indian summer. And then we begin to contract again, and we go into fall and further contraction into winter. Contraction and expansion is an important part of life for plants and for animals and for human beings as well. So welcome to the Winter Qigong. This is a mini Qigong that you can do throughout the winter time. I have an expanded version, which is my 4-week class that I teach in the Awaken and Evolve Learning Center, so you can look for that on YouTube as well. All right, let's get started with an invocation. We warm up with our hands, placing the hands over the eyes with your feet really nicely squared up and well balanced, not leaning to the front, not leaning to the back or to side. I want you to really be suctioned down into earth. Grounding into earth is an important part of staying healthy in the wintertime. Put your hands to your eyes, visualizing the color green for the element of wood. Bring your hands to your ears, visualizing blue for the element of water. Winter is the water season. Come down the side of the face, visualizing white for the metal element to your heart, visualizing red for the fire element. Hands to the solar plexus, visualizing gold for the earth element. We're going to do this 2 more times. Green, blue, white, red, and gold. We honor the ancestors who brought this tradition to us by having an invocation when we practice, along with this little warm up to center and balance us. So we now make that invocation to all those who have taught before us, passing this wisdom down from generation to generation. All right, we're going to get started with a little warm up. But before we do, for those of you who are not familiar, the most often used standing posture in Qigong is the Wuji posture. You're going to stand like you normally do, your feet right under your hips. Swing your feet out about 45 degrees and then square up to the front of the room, a little bit of a bend to the knee. You want the weight back in the heels, almost as though you were sitting on a ledge. There we go. That's the Wuji posture, connecting to earth, getting a sense of how your body feels now so that you'll have a comparison when we get done. So we start with some chi scattering exercises and a little band warming by warming up our wrists. So you're simply rotating the wrists and flexing the fingers. I don't want to see super tight fingers. I want to see slightly relaxed, but the fingers are able to articulate with the curving of the hand. Repeating this 10 times is a good place to start. You pause, take your breath, and switch your directions. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, paying attention to the articulation of the wrist and just noticing what you feel. Work within your range of motion. That puts us at about 10. There we go. Now we're going to further work our hands by squeezing our hands together. Squeezing at the thumb. We call this the tiger mouth. So give your thumb area really good squeeze. Put your hands together. Squeeze all the way down to the bone. And then begin to gyrate the wrists. I'll come up a little closer so you can see this. It's a turning of the wrists, like so. We're doing this to start moving the chi through the body, to bring the heat and flush the system out. That's it. Maybe 5 or 6 times on each side. Now I want you to shake your hands out. And you're going to begin now to squeeze all of the bones of your hand, starting with your fingers on both sides. The bones are part of the water element. They're ruled by the water element. And they are the deep innermost part of us where our bone marrow develops. So they're a very important part of the body. So squeezing now your hand, squeezing in toward the palm, flexing the hands out, stretching the hands back, really moving them in as many ways as you can. And now start squeezing all the way up the arms. You can come down the yin side. The yang is on the outside, the yin is on the inside. Getting a nice squeeze there, working the yang on the right side. Coming down, nice squeezes there. Then coming up to the chest and kind of rub on the breastplate. I'm probably messing up my microphone right now. Rubbing the back of the neck, the bones there. We're going to come down the body. I want you to get a nice feel for the rib cage, almost playing the rib cage like a xylophone, running your fingers up and down the bumpy part of the ribs, in the back around the kidneys, working your way down. I want you to find your hip bones, top of your hip bones here, your sacrum bone in the back, and work your way down your legs, finding the femur right here where it connects to the hips, getting a feel for that big joint there, and squeezing all the way down your legs on the yang or outside edge of the legs. Come down to your feet, squeeze your toes a little bit, and begin working up the yin side. Can be a lot of tenderness through here. This is a part of the body that tends to be a little more challenged, especially in our adrenaline-driven culture. Find the front of your hip bones here. There they are. And move over to the center and find the top of your pelvic bone and just push your finger in really nice and hard to the top of the pelvic bone and begin to appreciate this entire abdominal cavity is surrounded really like with a cage. The hip bones protecting the lower portion of it, and then the rib cage coming around and the upper portion. In the Chin and Song practice that I do, we work in the abdomen in order to improve neurotransmitter production and clear stagnant qi. So feel your rib bones, give them a nice rub down on the front side, work your way back up to the chest, and now begin to feel all the bones of your face, starting with your lower jaw, your mandible. Really get your fingers in there and feel the shape of it and squeeze all the way down to the bone, your chin. Work your way up to your cheeks. Allow yourself to really get a feel for the shape of the bones of your face, around the orbits of the eyes, pushing and massaging every little bit, rubbing the forehead. A lot of times we get qi stuck in the face. We're scrunched up and getting our way through the day. So it's a great way to clear out excess tension. Now begin to feel the bones of your skull, because your skull is comprised of, I think it's 3 bones altogether. Your skull can actually, the bones can actually move in your skull. Come back here to the occipital part of the skull, working your fingers in there. And I always like to finish with what I call the occipital pounding. Really great way to relieve tension that builds up in the neck. Now shaking your hands out. That's our qi scattering warm-up. Now we're going to work a little bit on our shoulders. So the first thing we're going to do is sweep our hands, right hand in front of left, taking a breath in. We're reaching out, almost like a bird with its wings. And now I want you to stretch out from the joints. So really get a powerful stretch going there. I want to see fingers open, but not holding them tightly. So you're just opening with a very gentle pressing sensation, pressing out from the shoulders. You'll feel a stretch. Sometimes you'll feel that really in your forearms, maybe a little bit at the top of the shoulders, and definitely in those hands. Breathing in again and pushing away. So we're going to repeat this 6 times altogether. Makes a good practice. You can do more as you get familiar with the routine. Breathing in and pushing out. I always lose count in class when I'm talking, so I think we're at 6. Now I like to do a variation of this, breathing in Breathing out, and now I want you to push forward. The moving out is a form of the way that Qi moves, pushing out, bringing your hands down, breathing in, pushing out. Give yourself 3 pushes that way. Come back down, breathing in and breathing out. Now push to the back, breathing in, breathing out, pushing to the back. Now we're going to do the same move, pushing the arms out. This time I want you to lift your shoulders and push out. Lift your shoulders and push out. Lift your shoulders and push out. Breathing in and breathing out. We're going to push at a diagonal. So you're going to lift your shoulders and push at a diagonal. Come back down, lift the shoulders, push at a diagonal. One more time, lift the shoulders and push at a diagonal. We're going to repeat this 3 times to the back, pushing back, dropping down, lifting the shoulders, and pushing back, dropping down, lifting the shoulders, and pushing back. Now we've worked that shoulder joint in every direction. Let's go ahead and bring down the heavens. Ha. We're just going to clear out the Qi that we have scattered. Ha. Pointing back down to the ground in your Wuji posture. 3rd time. Ha. Sending all that Qi we've scattered down into the earth. Now we're going to all turn into turtles. The turtle is a winter totem animal. The turtle represents prudence and discipline. The turtle represents being patient, and it also represents longevity. So a turtle is very cautious, and so when a turtle is in his shell, his chin is tucked back. I call this the Ewe posture. One of my Qigong teachers said this is the face that a 16-year-old makes when you talk about his parents having sex. Ew, pulls the head back. I know, it's hilarious because it's true. So we've got our chin pulled back, and now we're going to come out of our, I'm going to come up a little bit closer to the camera. We're going to come out of our shell. We're in our Wuji posture, our chin stuck back, and we're going to push the chin out, leaving your face perpendicular to the earth. So when you look at this from the side, you're pushed your neck out so you can be out of your shell, face is perpendicular to the floor, and you're going to turn with your whole face to the right. And breathe out. Breathe in and go to the left. Breathing out and in, and just keep switching. This 4, we're going to do one more. You don't want to overdo these neck movements, especially if you have difficulty with your neck. You're retracting back into your shell. And now this tortoise or turtle wants to look to the back and down. So we're going to extend out again from our U posture, turning the neck and looking back over the right shoulder. Don't move past your natural stopping point, your range of motion. You have to pay very close attention. Breathing in, coming back to you, and breathing out. Breathing in, sticking your neck out again, back to the left. Breathing in, tucking back, breathing out, coming in, breathing out. Now this tortoise comes back in his shell and he wants to look up and out this way. So now he turns like so and looks down to the ground in front. Breathing in, coming back out, looking down to the ground in the front. Coming in and breathing out. This is essentially the 4-column stretch, which gets all 4 muscle groups around the side of the neck. So this is our last round, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out and looking down, and breathing in. Now we're going to engage the eyes. We're going to be looking out and down. And when you look down, I want you to direct your vision to your cheeks so that your eyes are rolling all the way down so you can see your cheeks. Breathing in, come up to center. Breathing out, tilting the head back, following your range of motion, and looking up into the back of your skull. This is exercising the eyes. Breathing in and then out. Breathing in. Breathing out. We'll do one more set. Breathing in and breathing out. Out. Now I want you to just pause for a moment. You can give your neck a little rotation like you're drawing a circle on the ceiling. Repeat the other way. And there you are. That's a little mini winter Qigong. Enjoy, and feel free to repeat as often as you like the different steps, but don't exceed practicing for any longer than 20 to 30 minutes. Blessings to everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bridge to Health, Awaken and Evolve to Learn and Heal.